Good evening, parents and little dudes. Here's what I have for you today. We are going to be covering place value for this week and next week. So I need y'all to start practicing and understanding the content. Now remember, these videos are meant for you to do your best and try to listen and understand what I'm trying to say when I explain the content. So we are trying to understand place values in terms of 10. So when I say by 10, I'm talking about 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, and so on. So if you look over here, any number on the left side of this decimal point is called a whole number. Any number on the right side of the decimal point is called a decimal number. Okay? Now, whenever we multiply this number, the decimal point will move to the right. Whenever we divide this number, the decimal point will move to the left. Okay? There we go. So, let's say this whole number right here, we multiply it by 10. You don't have to do the whole process of multiplying. There's a very easy way to do this. We know that any number except 0 times 1 is that number. So 123.456 times 1 is 123.456. The decimal point. Now remember, when it's multiplied, it moves to the right. Now, how many times do we have to move this decimal point? Well, since there is 1 0 here, we know that this decimal point has to move 1 time to the right. So instead of being here, it's going to go between the 4 and the 5. So our answer for 123.456 times 10 is 1234.56, because it moved 1 time to the right because there was 1 0 here. Mr. V, what if there are no zeros? Well, if there are no zeros and it's just a number, let's say 1, it'll just be the same answer. Mr. V, what if there are 2 zeros? Oh, that's also easy. I love that I have a board now. I don't have to waste any more paper. But anyways, so 123.456 times 100. The same rule applies. Any number times 1 is that number. So it's already here for you. Now, because there are 2 zeros here, and because we are multiplying, we're going to move this decimal point 2 times to the right. So it'll go 1, 2. So our answer will be 1234.5.6. That is our answer. Now, let's see if we can do it a little differently. What if instead of multiplying, we divided? So for place values, it's also very simple. This number divided by 1 is still this number. Okay, but what if it was divided by 10? Well, because it is divided by 10, the decimal point is going to move to the left. There's only 1 0 here, so we're going to move it 1 time to the left. So our answer is going to be 12.3456. Mr. V, what if instead of 10 it's 100? Simple. Instead of 10 and we put 100, it'll be 123.456 divided by 100. There are 2 zeros here, and we already know that this number times 1 is this number, and we have 2 zeros that are divided, so we're going to move this decimal point to the left 2 times. 1, 2. So now our answer is 1.23456. But Mr. V, what if the number has more zeros than the number above it? Now, if by that you mean there are more zeros than there are numbers in the top, we can do that too. So let's say this number is divided by 10,000. We already know that 123.456 divided by 1 is already 123.456. But instead of 1, 2, or 3 zeros, we have 4. So all we're going to do is move this decimal point 4 times to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But Mr. V, there are no numbers here. That's quite all right. If the decimal point moved more times than there are whole numbers, all you're going to do is add a 0. And then the decimal point will go in front of it. So it should look like this as your answer. 0.0123456. And it's not as hard when it's also multiplication. When it comes to multiplication, it is the same process, just backwards. So 123.456 times 10,000. All we're going to do is move this decimal point to the right 4 times because there are 4 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Mr. V, there's no other number after the 6. That's okay. We just add the 0, and then the decimal point goes at the end. So your answer should look like this. 123.456.0. And that's place value, guys. It's not that difficult, and if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask. I hope this video helps you.